extra pieces here and there with sticking fingers out and hair. So don't waste your time. Remember, these are warm-up sketches. You want to obviously start with the furthest out to your margin here, how far this would take and how it lines up. I'm trying to triangulate, getting a sense of because I have no more clues, how do I see them? So there we go. I have general basic lines that pretty much give me all the clues I need so I could then begin to see, is this arm higher or lower than this shape here? And now I can begin to put together my negative space shapes. As I can sometimes blurring your eyes, or here's the ultimate trick. I was saving this for later, but I'll give it to you now. If you close one eye, we become monocular. So 2 eyes, binocular vision gives us that sense of space. If you close one eye, it flattens the image out. So getting used to it, you should, if that's what you're looking for, see it much easier. And what I mean by that is the negative space. So closing one eye, it is almost again, like a cheat. I'm not spending too much time on all of these subtle curvatures and details here. I'm just trying to get a sense of the more general negative space. Oh, did I start the clock? I'm sorry. If I did, it's over already. So this, yes, it will take us a little longer, and just coming all the way around as far as you can. If you didn't finish, if you're going just halfway or just maybe even around the head, maybe you might be focusing too much on details, but hopefully you can begin to see how much easier reading these elements is going to be for more successful drawings. It is incredible. It is the most recommended. Once you get to this level and you really practice it, you will discover how everything else becomes easier. All right, so here we go. Let me restart this clock. This one's going to be interesting. And there we go. So I'm going to use this entire space here, and I want to simplify it to the basic shape. So I'm going to kind of run lines and do this envelope kind of read, where obviously I would have my sense of proportion. Now I can do a little read for some really generic basic angles, closing one eye and seeing that very elemental basics negative space. And from here, I feel like I have somewhere near where I want it. Now I begin to, and there is going to be a lot of distracting detail that's going to want me, or curves. Right now you want to keep these hopefully as simple in terms of detail as possible, so you could work faster and get a fuller sense of the figure. We have one little interesting one here with that foot. And don't worry if the lines, again, as long as they're lining up and you are really seeing the main thing that we are looking for, which is that outer shape, the face. Again, I say face, vase. You guys know what I mean. In this case, the sky. We're not even considering here a person jumping up in the air with the arms extended. We're drawing the shape of the sky around that silhouette. And there we have it. And again, I notice how I minimized a lot of these tiny little negative spaces will become, in a few moments, you'll have the time. And again, it's all of it. Identifying how everything becomes positive, negative space. And you can identify and develop what you would never. Oh my God, you'd be amazed how good you're going to be at drawing hands when you focus on negative space. Hands being one of the hardest things to draw. And everybody agrees, other than feet. Okay, so here we are. This is number, I believe, 7. Restart that clock. Some of these you can begin to make smaller. Again, with charcoal, it is harder to get some of that detail. But because we're not looking for detail, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and just, interesting, get a sense. This is a really interesting shape here. And one of the things I think about when I'm using negative space, because there's not a lot that you can refer to in terms of shapes. For example, this one here. Okay, it's kind of like a triangle with a little bit of a curved edge right at the angle. But most of them don't really function that way. So how do we make sense of them? So one tip that I give, and I use myself always, is when we look at maps. So for example, this shape here, it's almost like a map, the map of a country here. And I'm not going to say what country or, some of these bays and gulfs and valleys, and simplifies the process. And it is, in a way, about quieting your mind so it doesn't label the thing that you're looking at. Because once it does, once that word gets in the foreground of your mind, say, for example, here, hand, you have this extra step that you now have to fight over in order to refocus on just line, angle. And in a way, it is very strategic what you need to do in order to figure out and quiet the mind so you just get past it. And hopefully everybody, again, they're getting a little more complex. It's not like you have to finish the entire thing, but the general gesture of it, we can identify the pose. That'll be great. Like I said, if you're only getting through one side of the figure, not all the way around, perfect, totally fine.